the woman, her beneficiary, they will get $100,000 within the 1 year. She pays the insurance company a premium of $350 at the beginning of the 1 year period. The probability that the 35-year-old woman will leave after 1 year is 0.99957. So, as you can see from this probability, there's a high chance that she will survive after 1 year, and the insurance company in that case will pocket the $350. Find the expected value and the standard deviation of this policy to the insurance company. Now I must tell you, expected value is nothing but the mean. So why this is a discrete probability distribution? Because there are two situations. Either the insurance company pays a premium, pays the beneficiary $100,000 if the woman does not survive. If the woman does survive, then the insurance company will just get the premium, will not have to pay the 100,000 to the beneficiary. So either the insurance company comes out ahead with the premium, which is highly likely because the woman has a high probability of surviving after 1 year, or the insurance company will have to distribute $100,000. That being the case, as you can see, there are two possibilities. Either she survives or she does not survive. Two possibilities. These are discrete events. Okay. So this is a case of a discrete probability distribution. Now let's go to Excel. Now I will share my Excel screen with you. Okay. Same 35-year-old woman purchased a term life insurance for of 100,000 for 1 year at a premium of 350. The probability she will leave after 1 year is 0.999057. What are the expected value and the standard deviation? So, in the first column, I listed the probability value. And I'm looking at the picture from the insurance company's perspective. Okay. So the probability that the woman will leave after 1 year is 0.999057. In that case, the insurance company gets $350. They do not have to give $100,000 to the woman's beneficiary. So the first column is the probability value. The second column is the value of the particular event where the insurance company does not have to pay. Next column, third column, column C, is the value times the probability of that happening. Its value can be called as X. Okay, so this value can be called as X. So you can write value or X. Okay, this is X. Okay, and this third column is value times the corresponding probability. The second row, the probability is the opposite, the probability of the complement event, that the woman does not survive after 1 year. And that probability is the probability of the complement event is 1 minus the probability that she survives, which is 0.999057. And that probability value is very low. As you can see, is equal to 1 minus 0.999057, which is 0.000943. And in that case, the insurance company hands out, not really, this is something you have to be careful. Okay, if the woman does not survive, it will seem at the start, that the insurance company loses straight $100,000. Not so quick. Okay, the insurance company, remember, they have pocketed $350 at the beginning of the year. So then the net loss in that case is 100,000 minus 350, which gives the figure 99,650 value for that event. You understand where I'm coming from? Since the insurance company had received a premium at the beginning of year at $350, that's profit for them. But if the woman survives unfortunate event, then they have to give out 100,000, but not all of 100,000 because they have already pocketed 350. So their net loss or net mm, negative benefit for them will be minus 99,650 net loss. Okay. Now multiply that event or that value of X with the corresponding probability of 0.000943 and you get minus 93.97. So in column C, I'm multiplying the value of each event with the corresponding probability. Value for the first one is 350, value for the second one. For the insurance company, it's a loss, therefore it is negative because it's going out through the door, is minus 99,650. Do not think about 100,000 because at the beginning, they have gotten beginning of the year, start of the year, they got 350. So the net loss in that case is minus 19. How did I get that? 100,000 minus 350 is 99,650. Negative sign, why? Because it's a net loss for the insurance company. And then I multiply it with the corresponding probability to get that figure minus 93.97. Then I add the first row and the second row, row 4 and row 5, to get the value times P is added for the two rows to get the mean value. That's the sum of the two rows for that particular column. This is the mean. This is the mean of this discrete probability distribution. What does it mean? If the insurance company sells many insurance for $350, on the average, they will be gaining 200 or they'll make a profit of 255.70. That is the meaning of this average, mean. Okay. So mean is also known as mu, hence x minus mu. Now, from each value, I'm subtracting the mean. 350. So you can see 350 is B4 minus $C $5 is the constant mean. So X value 350 minus the mean value 255.7 gives you 94.3. And then the X value in the second row minus the mean of 255.7 gives you gives you this particular value. So basically, we are trying to find out what is the difference between each value of x and the mean. How far each of these values, 350 and 99,650 minus 99,650, is located away from the mean. That is what the fourth column or the D column is given us. X minus difference between x and the mean. Then I'm going to square this in this column. Square means multiplying by itself one more time, exponent 2, and this is the symbol for the exponent, which I did over here. Same over here. Okay. Then I'm going to multiply this x minus mu squared 2 by the corresponding probability. Remember, the probability is in the first column. This is very important. After finding the square of the deviation of the numbers from the mean square, you multiply it by the corresponding probability and add the two events together to get the variance. What is variance? It is square of the standard deviation. So how to find the standard deviation? You take the square root of the variance, which is SQRT is equal to SQRT. So what does it mean? Again, on the average, if the insurance company sells many of these insurance at a premium of 350 in the long run, they will make an average profit of 255.7. However, the standard deviation, which is the average variation from the mean, is large also. So sometimes they will make much more money than the mean. Sometimes they will make much less money than the mean, depending on the situation. So again, standard deviation is an average variation from the mean. And we use the formula for the uh, discrete probability distribution, which I should also probably write in my board. So let's go back to the board. So the mean is given by mean is mu is same as expected value. Is this means summation. Okay, x times p. X is the value for each situation multiplied by the corresponding probability. You can write this as xi pi. Here I is 1 and 2. First one, they gain 350. Second one, they lose 99.650 and the corresponding probability. So once you find the mean, then from each x value, you subtract the mean. This is the deviation from the mean. Okay. Then you square the deviation. Square the deviation. So you square this figure, xy minus mu square. Then you multiply by corresponding probability. Corresponding probability. Probability. Which is xi minus mu square times pi. Then let me create some space to find variance. You add these terms. So sum, again, this is sum. This is also called sigma or sum. Sigma is Greek capital S. Sum of all the squares of the deviation times squares of the deviation. This is deviation squared. Okay. So this is the deviation, this is deviation squared times the corresponding probability, and you are adding them up. This gives you the variance square of the standard deviation. And what is standard deviation then? Standard deviation is square root of variance. Okay. So that's it. I will stop here today. If you really like this video, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. Please give me a thumbs up. And if you like this video, share with your friends. You and your friends, please subscribe to my channel by hitting the red subscribe button, and also please hit the notify button. যদি আমার ভিডিও ভালো লাগে তো আমাকে একটা থামস আপ দিন প্লিজ, তাহলে আমি আরও নতুন নতুন ভিডিও আপনাদের জন্য তৈরি করব। প্রশ্ন থাকলে বিনা দ্বিধায় করুন, আমি উত্তর দেব সবাইকে। হ্যাঁ, আর কালকে আবার দেখা হবে। আর আমার চ্যানেলে সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন by hitting the red subscribe button, and I'll be back tomorrow with another problem, another solution. Thanks for taking time to watch my video. I'll see you tomorrow with another interesting video, interesting situation. Thanks. Take care. Have a nice day. Okay. Stay well. Stay safe. We'll see you tomorrow.